Time is X minus 10. Time is X minus. Time is X minus 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
It's the Rocket Hour. Y'all are now tuned in. Time to hit the pick four that you'd love to win. If your money's coming slow, step on the faster track with your host, Ricky Pasternak. Let's go.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Rocket Hour. Starting a few minutes late today, which is fine. Just probably dealing with some website issues and finalizing a few things, but we still have an action-packed hour for you. I shouldn't say hour, hopefully an hour. Jared Welsh should be coming on around 11:45 or so. That's the plan. He'll talk some graded stakes action. I think there's 10 of them this weekend, so we have a lot to get to. Real quick, we're going to go through. No rocket launch. Aaron, how was your night? We finished blinkers off last night, so check out that news because there's some good news, good information regarding tomorrow. We talked 12 hours ago?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, here we are again. That's my life right now. But it's good. Everything's going well. I'm in the best mood yet for a Rocket Hour this week, so that's good. It's going good. Website is going good. One little problem getting the guide uploaded, but other than that, we're good to go right now.
Yeah, we're going to hop right into it. And I already have the entries ready to go. No BS from me other than my name, which is LSH, which is live stream host. Tomorrow, live stream, and Aaron is guest of live stream. So that's real quick. We're going to get right into it because we have a lot to get to. We're going to start with Oaklawn's card today. We were close yesterday. The first 5 races. Sorry, I'll apologize up front. I don't know what the heck was going on there. My Twitter, I put out getting beat by 54 to 1 shot by a nose. It was all over the place. So hopefully today will be better. On the bright side, it really can't get any worse. There are some scratches, some early scratches that Nancy Holtis has put out. I'll announce those to you. We're starting with race 6, races 6 through 9. The race 6 is Waiver Maiden claiming 40,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, going 6 furlongs on the dirt. There are a few scratches that I'm going to announce. The 4 Major Chance and the 5 Top Gunner is out. Again, you guys can go to Nancy's page on Twitter, and she has the early scratches. I think according to the timestamp, it was 23 hours ago. So Equibase doesn't have it updated. So luckily, we were following along. Aaron, I'm going to throw it to you first because that's what we like to stay in order. This race was pretty interesting, I thought, because I thought Top Gunner was a horse that we had to consider. Mm-hmm. But I see that you have a nice, sizable win bet. So kind of walk us through, I shouldn't say single, but walk us through this play and why you're so confident on your horse.
Yeah, I am very confident on this horse today. Long-term thinking, the 3 horses who you're talking about, I'm going to put the $20 win wager on him. First time out for the McKnight Barn. That's always a pretty good sign. David Cohen gets aboard. This horse has been close so many times, and that is a little bit of a red flag, but I'm hoping the barn change for long-term thinking is what's going to get the job done here. So I'm pretty excited about him. I think he is definitely one. I also look at it and say, boy, he's got the perfect stocking positioning in this race. When you look at the other speed, there's not a ton. He should be able to place himself pretty close, still not go that fast, and then pounce at the end. So I really like the 3. You touched on Top Gunner, the 5, certainly one that's got a big shot. There's no doubt about it. That's who I would put in second. This horse coming over from Los Alamitos. The one thing, these Los Alamitos runners, sometimes when they get outside of Los Alamitos, they don't run very well. And that's why I kind of hesitant said, okay, I'll put this horse second instead of on top. Those are the big 2 for me. I think it's a 2-horse race between those 2.
Yeah, so it's interesting you talk about the Los Alamitos thing because some runners, really do well, especially I think that's more so on the West Coast. They tend to do well. I went deep here because I don't trust long-term thinking at all. It's one of those like, yeah, he belongs. Not only is he, I shouldn't say he's consistently inconsistent, which is a little backwards. And what I mean by that is he consistently runs second and third. He's never finished off the board. The problem is you're going to have to take a short price for a horse that I can't trust. For you, I think it makes sense because at some point this horse is going to win. And I think Top Gunner was the horse that seemed to be improving. Coming from Los Al. But at the same time, I think he really did better on the dirt. Into Mischief sired horses are a little weird because they're very versatile. They can go dirt, they can go turf, as opposed to like a Liam's Map or, for example, on Liam's Map dirt-wise, and like a Noble Mission or something like that on the turf. Like, those, that's pretty standard. You know what you want to train for. Into Mischief's weird. So I really did like Top Gunner. I used the 3. I'm not an idiot. I also used the 8 and 9, and I'll scroll down so you guys can see. So you guys can see just the last few horses here, and I'll just walk through them real quick. I think the 3. Look, if the 3 wins, I'm going to be hitting myself because it could have been an easy single, but I just can't trust that horse. So I put the 9. Battle Hero on top, and then I went 9, 3, 8. That was my order. I went with Battle Hero because this horse by Quality Road ran against long-term thinking and was pushed really, really quickly. 21 and 4 is way too quick for a first-time starter at this level. If this is made in special weight, we might be having a different conversation. I want to see this horse second time out. We already know what long-term thinking is. I don't think it would take a crazy effort to beat this horse. Now, in saying that, I'm not sure if this horse might want a little bit longer moving forward, but I want to see how he does again. The comment vied inside and gave way. It was really accurate. I mean, to go to 21 and 4 and pushed on the rail like that, and to give way, that's not surprising. This horse was purchased for $400,000. It's a little disappointing to see him come back in his class. It was claimed out of that debut for Brett Calhoun, but who knows? I think long-term thinking is definitely vulnerable. Obviously, we both talked about that. The other horse to me is Catholic Guilt, just from the mere fact that the races he's been running in are just much better. I forgot who it was yesterday. I think it was a horse on the rail, and maybe I could look it up. Sorry, folks, I can't remember off the top of my head. The horse dropped from Torin. Was it Turin? Torin? Maybe we were talking about that horse.
Yep.
It was just one of those situations where that horse just seemed to run a lot better, right? So, granted, Catholic Guilt has run maiden claiming races before, but this was at Oaklawn, February 16th of last year. I mean, do you want to hold him to that? I'm not going to. And then came back and made in special weight. The 2 races at Oaklawn, one was a muddy, going a mile in the 16th, and the other one was a mile. His best race was at this distance. So, yeah, Dennis chimes in and says, I don't like the 8. I think if you're willing to bypass long-term thinking, and Aaron, that's why I want to throw it back to you real quick so you could touch on these 2, or maybe a horse we haven't talked about. You can make a case for the 8 or the 9 if you're against long-term thinking. I'm not against him, but at a short price, when you finish second 7 times, it's not a horse I'm running to play. So for you, did you consider the 8 and 9 or at all? Excuse me, or would you think about maybe going in a different direction if you were playing a multi-race sequence?
Well, I think if you're this race, it's one or the other, right? You're either going to go short with the 3-5, or you're going to go like you have and went deep, and you just say, I can't trust any of them. Yeah, I'm really interested in the 9. This is the horse I had in third. Just that, we talk about it a lot. That early speed in these shitty races is always really important, and this horse should set the pace. The only kind of negative is this horse set the pace 33 days ago at Oaklawn and faded at the same level, basically 30 to 40, about the same level. Faded to a 6, beaten 11. Barn Change to Lynn Claverard's not so bad. She's a pretty solid trainer. Maybe not so much at Oaklawn, but overall she knows what she's doing. The 9 could take him gate to wire. That's my worry. with playing against the 9. You know, you got that early speed.
Yeah, and we've seen how the speed, Mike Somich even talked about it last night. We've seen how the speed has been playing at Oaklawn, especially. We don't know how well and how fit these horses are running just because of the layoff. Some horses haven't had a recorded work. If we're just going through them, I'm looking at the 7 through 10 real quick. February 7th, February 2nd, January 15th, and February 1st. Some of these horses just haven't even been on the track, so we don't even know how fit they are. Speed might play out really, really well. Let's move on to the 7th race, and this is a good one. This is one of the ones that I thought you had to go deep. I don't believe there are any early scratches. I will check right now. We do. We have one, the 6, I believe, Bear Oak. I don't think we were really all in on Bear Oak. This was claiming 30,000 through 25,000 for 4-year-olds and upward, going 1 1/16 miles on the dirt. So 8.5 furlongs, 2 turns on the dirt. They are going to finish at the normal finish line, by the way, just to throw that out there. For me, this was the toughest race. And I don't mean toughest in terms of like quality. I think you could just make a case for a lot of them. I put the 8 Cold Truth on top. I thought the waiver claiming race that he ran last time out over a wet, fast surface was more to kind of see what he's going to be this year. And what I mean by that is he ran well at Remington Park 2 starts back and then had a little layoff. Nothing crazy. But William Martin does really, really well at Oaklawn. And Oaklawn's not one of those, what I would say, like extended meets in terms of like, it's not a Gulfstream. So a lot of horses, and Aaron knows this better than anyone, a lot of horses at Oaklawn, like stay at Oaklawn, and then you might not see them again until next, like January.
Right.
Like, especially if you're an Arkansas bred and you're not that talented. I think Cold Truth is going to be in for a nice meet. He has 5 starts here, only 1 win. But I just kind of like this form. That's who I put on top. I'll be honest. I used a bunch. I'm not going to go through them all because I want to throw it to you because you have a little try box I could see going. And I know you included the 8. I just kind of want to let you go through now who you liked and maybe who you put on top and why you went the way you did.
Yeah, this race is, to me, the hardest one. We talk about these races at Oaklawn often, and it's just, I don't know, these lower ones, it's just kind of a nightmare. I went back and forth a lot. I put the 1 Red Again on top at 10-1. Biggest thing for me for Red Again, this horse, like I said, he has early speed, and he has it going 2 turns. 2 races back, he won a starter allowance at Delaware. Now, obviously, Delaware, a much easier track than Oaklawn. But you come last time out at Oaklawn Park in a starter allowance, this horse was only beaten by 8 lengths by Frost or Frippery, who I think would beat this field by 8 lengths, right? So I definitely like the 1 on top. That's going to be my best value on the card. But I think it's a good trifecta race. There's a lot of different ways you can go. My second choice was the number 5 Stock Deal, another horse moving down in class. And I really think from a starter to a claimer is a real big drop. So I like the drop there for the 5 Stock Deal. John Court gets aboard for Lucas. Those 2 have had a lot of success in the past here at Oaklawn. I think you gotta be crazy not to throw in a Wacom in this spot. First off, the claim for Broberg, that's obviously a very good angle. I threw that one in as well. And I also threw the 8 in as well. So a 1, 3, 5, 8 trifecta box is where I went here.
Yeah, I didn't use the 1, but I think the biggest point that Aaron actually forgot, the horse is 6 for 12 at Oaklawn. So yeah. Oaklawn is a really, really, really weird track. And what I mean by that is you see a lot of horses, we're not talking grade 1 horses, but a lot of horses, claiming horses that'll come from Gulfstream or Lone Star, like they don't run well at Oaklawn. It's just a very different track. And you go the other way, Oaklawn horses necessarily don't run well. It's funny, we talk about college basketball, and I'll make the analogy, like I consider Aqueduct tough horses, like they're gritty horses. Gulfstream, I think they're soft. It's like the Pac-12, and out west, I think they're soft. I think Oaklawn is a very gritty racetrack.
Yeah,
like they grind it out. You don't really see gate to wire a ton. A lot of prices come in. I think these are very even fields. Like at Gulfstream, when a short price comes in, Aaron and I look at each other sometimes like, crap, we could have gotten to that one, especially when a horse goes from 5-1 to 2-1. At Oaklawn, like you look at these morning line odds, and Red Again might not even go off at 10-1. It's a good field. Red and Froster Frippery's good. There's one horse you talked about, Stockdeal. You talked about Aquam. I don't love that Carl Broberg's going to take it from Robertino Diodoro, I'll be honest. But I did think that was a horse he had to use. We didn't talk about the Robertino horse, though, Casanova. You're throwing out Casanova. He lost to Home Run Trick. So this is interesting, right? This horse and Casanova and the 8 Cold Truth, you use the 8 Cold Truth, but you're not using the 2 Casanova. I don't want to put you on the spot, but because, it is what it is. Is there a reason that you chose Cold Truth over Casanova? For me, I couldn't really choose. I couldn't decipher. But for you, is there a reason that you did that? Or did you just say, I'm not taking a horse at 5-2 morning line when I think this is a wide open race?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, to me, I just think I look at this race and think there's going to be some upsets. You look at Oaklawn yesterday, there definitely was. I don't really love Cold Truth here. And for me, I wanted horses that were kind of going to be close to the lead. And I thought that checked the boxes for the 1 and the 3. And, I think with the 5 getting John Court aboard, that horse is going to be forwardly placed truer. Then, the 8 I did throw in 4th. For Casanova, I don't know. I thought the race last time out was not great. First time off the claim for Diodoro and didn't really run very well. I kind of thought that was a red flag. Usually first off the claim for Diodoro, that's when you see those big races.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I was just curious because I think if in my book, like the way I'm playing, if you like one, you have to like the other. But I do agree that was a really disappointing effort. Is it possible that the moisture, granted, if you're looking at regular past performances, Aaron uses time form, so it's a little different. Time form's great if you like visuals. Like I'm looking at like old school like style. So it says WF with a little s. What that means is wet, fast, sealed. That's what that means. WF, wet, fast. That means the track is fast, but there's moisture in it. So how is that possible? Well, if it rained a lot, they can make the track. They have track officials and they get opinions from all over. They get it from horsemen and jockeys. They'll go out there and test it and literally walk on the track to make a grade. Wet fast means it's fast, but there's still moisture in the track. And sealed, what that means is they seal the track because it prevents moisture from getting into it. So for maybe Casanova, I went through all those technicalities to get to my point, which is maybe Casanova just wants to be over a fast track. Who knows? You can make the other point on wet dirt. He's 2 for 6. So who knows? Let's get to a few comments real quick. Dennis says he went to the 2 and the 3 with a bunt for second. Yeah, I mean, Aaron mentioned the 3 Aquam. I think that's logical. I think that horse will take some money. Casanova is going to be a short price, but I do think he's vulnerable. I really do. Aaron obviously agrees as well. Jared says, hey, you guys are great. We appreciate it. We really, really do. Always good to have compliments. Red Again, second off the layoff, rail draw, tactical speed. Yeah, that's one at a price I think you could include. I just couldn't get there. I just could not get there. But again, I'm probably walking this one into the winner circle. I think that is one to consider. Yes, 50-cent pick 4. Sorry, I did make that change. I'm sorry I didn't put that up there. You should see it now. It's scrolling 50 cents. I went a little bigger today. I'll get to that at the end. You guys had 22-1. That was cool for a place wager. Hey, once in a while we get these big prices home. That's what we try. Yesterday was crazy at Oaklawn. Let's move on to the next race. So race 8, we're now attacking the back half of the card. Sorry if we're going a little bit faster than we normally do. We just have a lot to get to, a lot of stakes action. So we're trying to move this along a little bit quicker. And then we have Jared Welsh coming on, who's probably going to go into a tailspin. Allowance optional claiming $80,000. This is a good one for 4-year-olds and upward, going 6 furlongs on the dirt. Aaron, I got to be honest. I thought this was a wide open race too, and now that 7 Nation Army is out, along with the 4 KJ's Nobility. I thought this race really opened up. You kind of tell me. I'll throw this one to you. Where you went? I see you have a small win wager. You're going to take a shot here. What are you thinking?
Yeah, listen, I don't have a real strong opinion in here. This is a very, very wide open affair, but I looked at it and said I think the number 2 Strike That is going to be pretty tough here. Forget about the last race. That was just a horrible effort at Keeneland and Lafayette. I don't really know what happened. Before that, this horse had finished first or second in every race except for one where he finished third. So this is a really, really consistent, nice horse. You look at the 4 races this horse had at Oaklawn: a first in a starter allowance, a second in an allowance, a first in an allowance, and then a second in an allowance. And in that last one at Oaklawn, he got beat by Volatile, who was probably the best sprinter in the country last year before he got injured. So there's a lot to like about Strike That. Just got to kind of get over the fact that the horse basically had to be pulled up and walked off last time out. But to me, I think this horse is going to come back ready to roll, and that's where my win wager went. I do like the 6 Jalen Journey. I think that's the logical horse here. 2 wins in a row. But there's no question this is going to be a jump up in class. Running and claiming ranks the last 2 times, now jumping up to allowance. That's not going to be easy. You look at his past performances, been kind of sketchy in allowance races. So I don't know. I think Jalen Journey might be a little susceptible, is what I'm going to guess is going to be the favorite. But I do think you should play him in exotics. The other Steve Asmussen horse in here, number 3, Gold Street. This horse isn't awful either. I mean, you look at some of his past races before he got into the Southwest last year. This horse won the Smarty Jones over the surface. This horse won a race, a stakes race at Fairgrounds. So coming back off a long layoff, the only thing I hated about the 3 Gold Street is no Ricardo Santana today. Santana is on the 6 Jalen Journey, which makes you think that's the better of the Asmussens. But I wouldn't be surprised if Gold Street has something to say about this as well.
Yeah, I think this is a wide open race. There are a few horses that we didn't talk about. I went back so you talked about Strike That. Yeah, I think the Lafayette loses the rider. To be honest, I don't know how much he was going to do against a horse like Sleepy Eyes Todd. Anyway, to be honest, that's just my opinion. Gold Street, I'm not sure what to make of that horse, because at this time last year, Gold Street would have been a cinch in this spot. The problem is he hasn't been able to beat me and you in his last 2. So I'm not sure what to do there. Jalen Journey talked about it just seems to be getting better. No surprise under Asmussen, and really took on a little career of his own in 2020. There are 2 that we didn't talk about. The 7 Nuclear Option. Getting Florent Giroux now, that has to mean something, right? I mean, Ramon Vasquez at 43-1 almost got this horse gone. You had to go 4 wide around the turn. I think people are sleeping on this one. I really, really do. I was all over 7 Nation Army, and I told Aaron I'm between the 1 Mojo Man and the 7 Nuclear Option. Luckily, as Aaron was talking, I was just able to watch the replay of that race because, we're doing this on the fly a little bit with some of the early scratches, and the regular scratches should be coming in soon. I think Nuclear Option is going to be a price. And at this level, is it possible he just ran his best race because at Hawthorne he wasn't great? Sure. But I don't trust some of the shorter prices like a Gold Street and a Strike That. Strike That going 6 furlongs. I don't know. I just have a feeling this is going to be won by a horse that we don't necessarily expect. So keep an eye on that one. Again, you could see I went 2, 6, 7, 10. So I didn't use Gold Street. I don't like what he's been doing lately, even though he can come back and win. The layoff is obviously concerning. The 10 Fire Crow I thought was interesting. I hate that Joe Talamo's been I don't know what the heck Joe has got going on. I don't know if it's a lack of quality. I'm not really sure, but he's got 3 seconds. I mean, it's not like he's got 8 seconds, 9 seconds, and he's just missing. I mean, I'm not sure. He's a good rider. He is, but at some point, I just looked at this horse and said outside speed. That's what stuck out to me. Did you give the 10 or the 7? Or I should go in numerical order. 7 or 10? Any consideration, Aaron?
7, absolutely. Yes. You look at that race last time out, he ran huge. It was 43-1 though. So I always am leery when they come back, can they repeat that effort? This was strong. I mean, this was a strong effort last time out. So I did think about the 7 a lot. Didn't end up including. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me. The 10, I don't know. I wasn't in love with the 10. I wasn't overly excited for the 10 here. Second off a layoff, that could be a big help. I do like the price of 10-1, but I couldn't get there with the 10.
Yeah, I think it's a stretch, but I just, at this point, I want to see speed. And obviously speed from the outside is much better than speed from the rail. I think everyone kind of gets to that point. Do we have any opinions for race 8 tomorrow? I think that's the Amy's Challenge race. It's not a graded stakes race, but we'll try to get to it. We're trying to keep it limited. Dennis says, I went to the 10 horse. Yeah, has speed. I think that's one that you have to include. Aaron, you know better than anyone, Ronnie Marquette, when he's got a runner, I think we got to include. I shouldn't say I wish Joe wasn't on a board. I wish someone else was aboard, but Joe's going to get out of it at some point. And then Jared Bush chimes in and says, Santana and Asmussen, I think jockey trainer combo is 20%. Yeah, I mean, Santana, Asmussen, you can, again, I think I said it yesterday, you can take that duo to Japan and they're going to run well. You could run them on ocean water and those two are going to run well. Giroux is a Santa Anita guy. I'm not sure what that means. I don't think he's not a Santa Anita guy. He's really like a Kentucky, I shouldn't say Midwest, but like a Kentucky, Arkansas type of guy. He's not really an out west guy, but maybe I'll pick up some outs out west. Who knows? Let's move on to the final race, race 9. Oh, Aaron, this is your type of race. AR everywhere. You know what that means? That means Arkansas breds. Let's see. Oh, someone said real quick, what about the 5 last race? Sorry, 7 Nation Army is scratched. That was one of the early scratches. I think I said that a little too quick at the beginning. I apologize. The 4 KJ's Nobility is an early scratch, so Equibase doesn't have that quite yet. And the 5 7 Nations Army as well. So the 4 and 5 are out. Sorry, and the 8. Tough Love is out. We didn't even get to Tough Love. 4, 5, and 8 are out. Let's move on to the 9th race. It's weird. It's allowance optional claiming, but it's all Arkansas bred. So this is going to be a little interesting. This is some of the better of the Arkansas breds. I'm going to throw it to Aaron. Allowance optional claiming $25,000 for Arky breds. 3 odds and upward going 1 mile, and they will start and finish at the 16th pole. So this is what I was talking about. 1 mile, 8 furlong. But there's no real long stretch in this one. It's going to kind of be like at the top of the stretch, they're going to be finishing quick just because of the way the race kind of laid out. Aaron, take it away here. What are you thinking? You got another $5 win bet, and I have a feeling I know where you're going to go because we kind of look at races similarly. Yeah,
again, these Arkansas bred races, just take them with a grain of salt. They're just horses that cannot win anywhere but Arkansas. And then they throw them all in together in a race and put a big purse on it. It's kind of crazy. If you're not careful, if you read these horses, maybe when they get outside of Oaklawn, you go, oh man, this horse won an $88,000 allowance. Surely he can compete in this $35,000 claimer at Louisiana Downs. He really can't. So I'll start with that. Look, I don't have a strong opinion. I went with the number 5 Supercharger on top. $5 win wager, just Arkansas bred. Let's get out of this. Look, the horse was not good last time out at all, but I think gets a little bit easier field today. I think Joe Talamo getting aboard will help, and the horse has early speed. If he gets back to that early speed, I think he'll be tough to catch. And again, I handicap these like I handicap claimers. You get early speed, you're going to be tough. So I put the 5 on top. I'm interested in the 4 Amazing Vision. This horse ran decent at Hawthorne. So that was, it was in low company, but still at least almost won last time out. The horse is also in good form, and that's something with Arkansas breds, especially early in the year, you want to look for. So Amazing Vision, maybe a little bit of a shot there. I also like the number 10 Prospector Fever, getting back to the dirt today. He's been on the turf a lot. But, you look at some of his Oaklawn races in the past, like last year on the dirt, ran pretty well. Ran third to Supercharger, in an allowance race. Ran third to Man in the Can, who's a pretty good horse as well. Pretty good Arkansas bred. So, those were kind of my top three, but again, I don't have a real strong opinion, but I do think Supercharger is going to get out in front.
Yeah, we kind of hit this race perfectly because I went 5-10 and I wanted to go deeper because this looks like a race that Supercharger might be vulnerable. I just couldn't find anyone else. I think that's for me what it came down to. I went through all of them and I was like, I don't know. Supercharger might be vulnerable because his last two efforts were horrible. But again, I'm not really sure where else to go. Supercharger comes out of the same race with Hidden Scroll. I think Hidden Scroll is much better than any of these Arkansas breds. I think that's fair to say. I also think Supercharger didn't really want to go 6 furlongs. I think Supercharger is going to be better going longer. If you look at the Arkansas, I think that's the Breeders' Championship. So it's like what, Aaron, you would know. That's like state bred championship. Gulfstream has like the Claiming Crown. It's like kind of similar. It's restricted. Right, lost a Man in the Can. Man in the Can is better, but then you get back to some of these allowance races like at this time last year, and Supercharger, if he can run anything like that, he's probably going to be pretty good. The 10, Prospector Fever, I have to go against everything I say, which is the group of 6, right? I look at the group of 6. The problem is Prospector Fever's been on the turf in all of his races, except for the one that was taken off. So I have to go back a long time. I don't like doing that because I think those races after the group of 6 are irrelevant. But in this situation, it forced my hand because I had to see how he did on the turf. On the dirt when they were scheduled for the dirt. And I agree. Prospector Fever has a ton of dirt experience, not recently. And Prospector Fever comes out of some of the same races that Supercharger did back, in May of last year. So I think you can get away with the 5 and the 10. We have a special guest, so we're going to wrap up real quick. Let's go through a few comments, actually. We'll keep the special guest waiting. He does have a good name, by the way. Dennis, I love your comments. These are hieroglyphics. I'm not sure. The 4th. All right. Dennis, Aaron, can you decipher what that is? I want to get Dennis to comment out there. I'm just not sure what it is.
He's got 6 different exacta boxes: a 4-5 exacta box, a 5-6 exacta box, a 5-8 exacta box, 5-9, 5-10, 5-11. That's what he's saying.
Okay. I'm happy you were able to clear that up because I thought I needed glasses. Okay. So Dennis threw a bunch of horses in there. Yeah, the 6 Implicator makes sense, but the problem for Implicator, Aaron, we have to go through these quick. So Aaron, just add on to anything that I'm going to get through all these comments because I want to get Jared on. Implicators facing winners for the first time. We don't love runners that take this long to break their maiden and step up into a race like this when we know what Supercharger's made of. Mm-hmm. That's this handling the 6. The 11, Weast Hill, waiver claiming 7,500, and he finished 5th by 7 1/4. Good luck. Yeah, I guess Florent Giroux gets a board.
That horse used to be good, Weast Hill. That horse used to be really good, but it's just we haven't seen the best from that one in a long time.
Yeah, and 8 of 23 at Oaklawn. What is that? That's 16 for 23 in the money at Oaklawn. So great numbers. I just think this horse, like Aaron said, the horse is 9. He's just not the same runner. Dennis is really trying to test my reading skills. 5 with 4 and then a bunch. Okay, so basically he what he's doing here. Okay, this I understand. He's putting the 5 on top with a bunch underneath, and then he went the other way, a bunch on top with the 5 underneath. The problem is if you get a horse like the 6 or the 10, and the 6 will probably take money because it's Ricardo Santana and Ron McQuett, you might get burned, honestly. And Aaron, I'll let you speak on this. I don't want to, take the words out of your mouth because you're more of the exacta trifecta guy. Is this for everyone, I guess, listening? Is this a way that you would play this race? Because I think if Supercharger gets the win, I'm not sure what the prices are going to be unless you get a big long shot underneath.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like playing like that. I said that yesterday. I don't like when you play an exacta and you got like a ton of them, unless it's like I don't know. Maybe in this situation it would be okay because these other horses are prices, and it could get a little weird. But I would rather not do it that way.
Yeah, Jared Bush hops on. Yes, he meant to say Keeneland. Yes, Florent Giroux at Keeneland, very, very good. And then someone said Aaron is making this difficult by using the one horse in the 7th race. Red Again. Yeah, that's a horse that I'm not sure about. That's the one I didn't use. Dennis, we don't hate the way you bet. I just hate the way I have to read it because I have, my mind goes in mumbo jumbo. Real quick, because we have to bring Jared on. We have a ton of stakes action. We're already running a little late. Aaron, I'm going to take this out. Let's just go through our tickets real quick, and then we're going to bring Jared on. I'll let you go first. Someone said, I think you should include the 1. Yeah. I guess he's talking about the last race, maybe.
Talking about race 7, the 1.
Oh, race 7. Right again. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I'm going to stick to my guns. We're going to see. Hope maybe some scratches will help me narrow it down. Aaron, real quick, kind of walk us through your tickets. You have a really strong win bet. So kind of tell us what you're thinking through the sequence.
Race 6, $20 to win on the 3 to kind of kick it off there. Hopefully just kind of kick that off and get it going on the right track. I just think that horse is the best in the race, simply put. Race 7, 1, 3, 5, 8 trifecta box, wide open affair. And there's that 1. The 1 is actually my top pick that a couple people have commented about. So we'll see what happens there. Race 8, I went $5 to win on number 2. Not really a strong opinion one way or the other on that one. And then, of course, race 9, the Arkansas bred, $5 to win on the 5. Again, not a strong opinion on the last 2. Decent opinions on the first 2.
Yeah, real quick before we get Jared on. I went 3, 8, 9 in the first race, and I don't trust long-term thinking. 7 seconds and 8 tries. I'll be willing. Yeah, he fits here. That's fine, but he seems to run second no matter what level he's at. That's even including maiden special weight races when he was running for Chad Brown. So consider some other ones to use as well. We'll go to race 7. I didn't use Red Again. That's going to come back to bite me, or this horse is going to stink. I'm not sure which way it's going to go. Maybe I'll include the 1 and take someone else off because I don't want to go against Aaron. His top choice is 10 to 1, so he's confident. I think you could take a bunch and make a case for him. I went deep there. Race 8, I went 2, 6, 7, 10. I didn't use the 3 Gold Streak because the last 2 efforts, one over a sloppy track and the Southwest, which we're going to talk about. He was horrible. This edition of the Southwest, not last year's. I really think you should take a look at the 7 Nuclear Option, who ran at this level 43 to 1 last time out and was second by a neck, and Fire Crow, who has done well at Oaklawn before and been really, really consistent. The last one, I think you can go with Supercharger, the 5, and the 10 Prospector Fever. Aaron talked about it. Moving forward more so, don't get caught up in the purse, please, because this is still Arkansas allowing, if they go to Keeneland or Churchill Downs or wherever, Sam Houston, I don't know, pick a track. It's still Arkansas bred. So just because the purse is high doesn't mean much. Aaron put it great. Him and Jared know Oaklawn better than anyone. All right, we will keep these tickets going, but what do we have? We have a special guest. Once he gives me the thumbs up, I will bring him on. He has a great name, by the way. Yes, thumbs up, double thumbs up. That means he's ready. We're going to bring him on now, and it's Mr. Jared Welsh. It's nice to know that all 3 of us are not wearing the same sweatshirt like we did last night. That was a little interesting. I did that on purpose. Jared, how you feeling? What's in that nice cold Yeti of yours? Is it cold or is it warm? Coffee or alcohol?
Well, the amazing thing about this Yeti is that last night the same Yeti had whiskey in it, and this morning it has coffee. So I actually I probably slept, so I took the hoodie off so that way you guys wouldn't make fun of me. Because then, I would still have the same clothes on as last night. But hey, I'm here. I've got coffee. And anytime I get an opportunity to be on my favorite show on RacingDudes.com, I'm gonna hop on.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you throwing the word favorite in there. Not only is it the favorite word, I'd be hard pressed to say we don't bring the most energy. I mean, you got a 24-year-old.
I've heard that before. I don't know. I've heard someone say that before.
Yeah, guys, tune into Blinkers Off last night. I'm officially a part of the podcast. They have some great picks and stuff, but if you really want to get an energy boost, you could probably start around minute 50. That's where things really liven up. They have all their picks for every race. They have some crazy names for picks and things like that. We don't do that here. They have lock it up. They have something about a wood race. I don't know. So definitely tune into that. All right, we have stakes action to get into. we're just going to do stakes action. Just I really quick. I'm just going to say Razorback. I told these guys what we're going to do. We got to go through them quick because there's literally like 10. And then someone asked for a race after that. So what we're going to do really, really quick. We're just going to go in order. I'll be the last one to go. Actually, we'll make Jared the last one to go. And he has a great name. Ricky P's #1 fan. We'll start with Aaron, the Razorback. I think you guys talked about it last night. This kind of looks like a race Owendale. Sorry, different race. I'm thinking Owendale. I was thinking Tax for a minute. What are we thinking here in the Razorback? I remember the horse Mystic Guide from Saratoga. What are we thinking here? This is a nice field in the Razorback.
I'm very interested in Mystic Guide here. I'm going to put Mystic Guide on top. Let's not forget, we saw this horse win the Jim Dandy and then went to the Jockey Club Gold Cup and almost won the thing. Got beat by a narrow margin, beat the great Tacitus, I believe, in that race. So there's something. The big key for me was Luis Saez gets aboard. That tells me that they think, his agent and Luis himself kind of thinks Mystic Guide could be an up-and-comer. Let's get this mount early. So I'm going to go with the chalk. I'm going to go Mystic Guide.
Yeah, I'm not going to use – I did use Mystic Guide, but I really, really liked Hunk of Burning Love because I saw this race in real quick, and I didn't think there was a ton of speed, and that's what Hunk of Burning Love does best. So I think that's a horse that you should definitely consider going gate to wire. 9-2 morning line doesn't hurt either. Jared, I'll throw it to you. What were you thinking here when you were looking at the Razorback?
Well, listen, yeah, I'm with Halterman. I mean, obviously, Mystic Guide seems like the one to beat, the class of the field. Obviously, I haven't seen it since October. So I'll use defensively. But as far as my pick, how about let's throw out, Owendale obviously is going to be difficult as well, classy horse. But if you're looking for a prize, I actually am looking at #3, Mailman Money. I think that horse is interesting to me. Coming off a layoff a little bit for Brett Calhoun, Joe Talmo gets them out. I think this horse has enough early speed, but also can stay late and kind of sit off maybe if it is a quick pace. So, a little bit of an upsetter here if this horse can handle the comeback here. #3, Mailman Money at 10-1.
Yeah, no, that's a nice price. So it's nice that we have a few different horses there. Someone asked about the next race. It wasn't a graded stakes race, so I'll go first because I didn't want to throw anyone off. This was the Spring Fever. I believe that's what someone asked for. So we'll go through it real quick. I think this race kind of comes down to two horses, Kamari and Amy's Challenge, and I really do like Kamari. I think Kamari is the class here. Aaron, if you're ready, I know this isn't graded, so I might have thrown you off. I know Kamari, the last time we saw Kamari on the dirt, she was really, really good. Is that where you're going, or are you going to maybe Amy's Challenge?
No, I got to go Kamari. I love Amy's Challenge. I have for a long time. I just think Kamari's a little bit better. I'm excited to see her back here. And, yeah, that race you mentioned for Kamari on the dirt, that was right here at Oaklawn Park. And look who this was beat, Frank's Rocket. That's a really nice sprinter. And Kamari just kind of zoomed by, and then they tried, of course, bigger and better things. Going to Ascot and then Kentucky Downs on the turf in a really tough race. But, yeah, Kamari back at Oaklawn, back on the dirt. I like it.
Jared?
Yeah, I mean, you'll be hard pressed to find a horse that's so widely traveled at just 4 years old. I mean, she goes all over the place, turf, dirt, different countries, at Royal Ascot. I mean, she goes, she's all over. So obviously the class of the field, and yeah, I mean, that race back in the Purple Martin, she was awesome. Beat 2 comeback winners in Frank's Rocket and Edgeway. I mean, she's gonna be tough. Amy's Challenge is very good at Oaklawn as well. She's going to bring it. So I like those two, but I just think sitting outside of Amy's Challenge in just the class of Kamari, she's going to get it done.
Yeah, I agree. Kamari, as we like to say, racking up those air miles, Kamari will go all over the place wherever she's asked. We're going to go to the feature of the race, and this will be on the live stream tomorrow. We're going to go. This is the showdown that everyone's kind of been waiting for. Essential Quality, Jackie's Warrior. I don't think anyone really believes Spielberg at 9-2 is a true win candidate. I don't want to speak for anyone. So it kind of seems like one of these heavyweight fights where we're going to find out if Jackie's Warrior is going to be in that form of 2020 or if Essential Quality is clearly a standout in terms of, I don't even want to say top one, but based on this race, maybe he will be top one. Aaron, I'll start with you. We had a little conversation at the beginning of the week, but kind of go a little bit more in depth Which way, after taking some time, Essential Quality, Jackie's Warrior, or maybe there's a long shot you just want to blow up the tote board? Which way are you thinking here?
It's got to be one of the two. I'm not going to try to blow up the tote board with anybody. Listen, I think if Essential Quality wins this race, he is absolutely the real deal. I think this is going to be a tough challenge to run down Jackie's Warrior here. But in the end, I went with Essential Quality. I think he's going to do it. I looked back at some of his prior races, not the Breeders' Cup race, but the Breeders' Futurity and then his maiden win. He was able to sit closer to the pace than he did at the Breeders' Cup. I think he'll be able to keep Jackie's Warrior within range, and I'm afraid in the final few jumps, he's going to be able to pass Jackie's Warrior. I have a lot of respect for both these horses. I think you said it best. This is going to be a showdown.
Real quick, I'm going to give mine, and then I'll go to Jared. The Oaklawn scratches are out on Equibase, so if Aaron, if he gets a minute or two, will try to update maybe some of his tickets. There are notable scratches, so please check that out. I was just able to update it, and then I'm scrolling it. When Aaron's ready, he'll try to get that together. For me, it's Jackie's Warrior. I was on this horse last year, and I'm stubborn. I'll be the first one to admit it. I think Jackie's Warrior had a lot more of an arduous campaign than people kind of realize. I think Aaron, I don't want to speak for Aaron, but he kind of agreed. Essential Quality had 3 races and didn't really hit the track in the afternoon until September. Jackie's Warrior had been running since June. I think that had a lot to do with the campaign, and I'm not in the Jackie's Warrior can't handle the distance, because in the Champagne in the Belmont on October 10th of last year, in 1/2 furlong less, the horse won by 5.5 lengths. So I'm not in that camp. I'm going Jackie's Warrior. Jared, I'll throw it to you. Are you Essential Quality, Jackie's Warrior, or are you trying to blow up the tote board?
I mean, yeah, it's between those two. It does give me pause. The more I've thought, we talked about this last time on Blinkers Off. The fact that Rosario bypassed so many good mounts on Saturday at Gulfstream Park is going to ride his horse here, Jackie's Warrior. So that obviously tells you the horse should be ready to roll. I just think Essential Quality is better. I went back and, like Haltzman, I went and watched all 3 of his races, last year, obviously the Breeders' Cup, and where both him and Jackie were in there. A lot of credit goes to Jackie's Warrior. He ran a good race considering he wasn't doing things that he's normally done. And like you said, he may have been a little tired. He tried, he just got caught. So I think he's going to bring it. I think it's going to be a showdown down the lane. But I like Essential Quality to run him down very late. I think it's going to be a hell of a race late in the stretch and win.
Yeah, it is going to be a really, really good race. And I'll be honest, this is the race I care about most tomorrow, because this is head-to-head, battle for battle. And I think, based on the way this race is run, we might eliminate the loser, honestly. So it's going to be one of those situations. And I don't think anyone else is really on the rest of the board outside of the 1-4 Jackie's Warrior Essential Quality. Let's move to Gulfstream, which obviously has the Fountain of Youth, but they have a great undercard as well. Again, you can check this out tomorrow. We'll be covering this live. They start with the graded stakes early, 12:26 Eastern time. That's before Jared's even gotten out of bed, 11:26 his time. It's going to be bright and early, and we're going to start with Here Comes the Bride Stakes. Grade 3. Aaron, I'll throw it to you first, because that's the way we roll here. What are you thinking here in the first graded stakes race of the day from Hallandale Beach?
Yeah, boy, what a card, first of all. Coming up at Gulfstream Saturday. This is just going to be an amazing card. 9 stakes races, the wagering guide. You can go purchase it now. If you're a subscriber, it will be in your it's going to be in your dashboard at some point today, maybe, hopefully. Okay, so race 3, Here Comes the Bride Stakes. Lejana is the horse I put on top here at 8-1. I'm very interested to see this horse run here. I thought the race last time out at Fairgrounds was an impressive win for sure. Broke the maiden, won by 1.5 lengths. You look at this, there's a lot of speed signed on, and this horse can kind of sit the pocket trip. I like that Edgar Zayas gets aboard here. So picked up a pretty decent, Gulfstream jockey. I kind of like this too. I'm gonna try to take a shot with this 8-1 to start the card.
Yeah, I think you can make a case here that I expect this to be a little bit faster than we expect. I did put the 1 Spanish Love Affair on top. I chalked out a little bit. But I do want to talk about the horse in the 6, Toby's Heart. I think this horse is one that people should really keep an eye on. Granted, we haven't seen Toby's Heart since Saratoga and going to be stretching out. There are a lot of things Toby's Heart is going to be doing differently. Brian Lynch has been really, really good so far at Gulfstream. And I think this is the only horse that could win, not on the lead. So if this thing melts down, I think Toby's Heart is something, granted, 7-2. That, to me, Toby's Heart was almost a single for me because I think the way this race is going to break down. Jared, I'll throw it to you. This is a really, really tough mile and 16 turf race. What were you thinking here?
Oh man, this is a hell of a race to kick off the stakes action on Saturday. It's a good one. I mean, I went all over the place. I really like the 2 Lejana that Halterman landed on. I think that horse definitely that price is playable. Toby's Heart is super interesting as well at 7-2. I ended up going. I'm with you on the meltdown, and I kind of went all the way to the outside on number 8, Designer Ready. It's a horse that I think is going to be coming late. Gets Johnny V to ride. Won on debut, ran the Ginger Brew last month in January. Finished 3rd to Con Lima and Honey Pants. Going a mile, stretches back out to that mile 16 distance where she won on her debut at Tapit. So I think she's going to be getting going late in this race. And if it melts down, I like her to pick it up at a price. She's 6-1. So number 8, Designer Ready. Yeah,
this is good. Everyone's giving different picks. Let's keep it rolling here. We just keep going with the great stakes action. It's going to be a fantastic card. The Mac Diarmida Stakes for 4-year-olds and upward. Aaron, kick it off. Another turf race. This one is going to test the stamina of some. We're going 11 furlongs here. What are we thinking? I think there are a lot of ways you can go, and I have a feeling there could be a horse that goes gate to wire. But what were you thinking here as we hit the 4th race?
Hopefully Tide of the Sea can do it. The 3-horse Tide of the Sea is my top pick. This horse was a big key to us cashing in on that Pegasus Day with some nice tries and a win bet here as well. You're not going to get 6-1 on this, or I guess 4-1 is what he ended up going off at in the end. You're not going to get that. Probably going to be about 8-5, but the setup looks pretty good here for the 3. And the thing I really loved about Tide of the Sea, he got challenged by his stablemate Temple in the stretch, and he put him away. He re-rallied. So I think he's strong. I think Tide of the Sea gets it done here.
I'll go here. I can't believe I'm saying this. I actually think Tide of the Sea wants a race longer than this. I never thought I'd be saying that with an 11 furlong turf race. It's unbelievable. I used Tide of the Sea, right? Like that was Pegasus Day was like the day for me. Like I literally have a new couch because Tide of the Sea helped me cash. But I didn't, literally, I didn't use Tide of the Sea. So I might be out of my mind, and I am. I probably am. I think the 6, Phantom Currency, I used a bunch. I didn't need single. Phantom Currency, I think, is the horse that can wire this field. And there have been too many times that I've seen these turf routes, they go literally 25-1. So Phantom Currency, I think, will be untested. So I'm going to make that my top choice. I did go 1, 4, 6, 7. I used Temple. I think Tide of the Sea is just going to be hammered too much, and I don't want a part of the price. I agree Tide of the Sea is the horse to beat. Jared, I'll throw it to you. I know I'm probably nuts for not including Tide of the Sea. Am I nuts, or are you going to also play against Tide of the Sea?
I think you both are nuts. No, it's a weird, Maker's got several in here, right? So it's kind of like either take your shot with whichever one you think can get it done. Obviously the distance being a huge critical thing here. Gosh, you know what? I might be even more nuts than you are. How about let's play? I'll keep it going. I'll keep it mixed up. Let's go with an upset here. Number 4, Moon Over Miami, one of the old-time racing dude's favorite horses here. Bill Mott now, obviously being on the turf, and this horse, showed some signs last year of being a pretty good little turf horse, especially going long. Got tired there at the end of the Belmont Derby, but listen, I mean, if you're talking about kind of the pace, obviously you got some horses that are going to go try to wire this field, but if it doesn't, Junior Alvarado, to ride here and for Bill Mott, and obviously coming off the bench, I think he might be tough. I mean, coming late. So I like him as far as picking it up if this thing melts down a little bit and these horses get tired on the front end.
Yes. So I thought I was nuts. Maybe Jared's even more nuts. I did use the 4 Moon over Miami in 4th. That is I'm pretty much taking anyone that I think has a shot that's not named Tide of the Sea. So yes, Moon over Miami did make the ticket. So this is interesting, right? Either Jared and I could be right, but either Aaron's going to be very right and I'm going to be very, very wrong, or we could both be like right and wrong if Tide of the Sea finishes like 2nd and I'm able to get one. So it's going to be interesting to see. That's one of Aaron's top choices of the day. Let's move on to the turf action. Just doesn't stop. I feel like I'm at Saratoga again. Race 8, the Canadian. This is a grade 3 Canadian Turf Stakes. This has Meltdown written all over it as far as I'm concerned. We'll scroll down here so you guys can play along. Aaron, I'll throw it to you as I'm scrolling. Which way did you go here? This is race 8, by the way, for everyone following along.
Yeah, I don't know that this is going to melt down. I think the number 5 Arzak could get out to the lead and be kind of tough to catch here. I kind of like the 5 to take this field gate to wire, honestly. The horse I do like in 2nd, if it does, like you said, kind of have a meltdown, is the 2 Annex. I really like that. I think we can get away with it.
We're in a different race. We're in a different race. Race 8.
Oh, you didn't do race 6. You did race 8. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, graded. Sorry. The only reason I did the other – sorry, that's my fault. The only reason I did the non-graded stakes was because someone asked.
Well, let me tell you, like I was fully on board with pumping Annex here. So Annex, I love Annex in that race, but we go to the graded stakes.
Sorry about that. The only reason I did the other non-graded stakes at Oaklawn was because someone asked. I'm sorry. That's my fault. So we'll real quick. Just give us since we're on the topic. Race 6. Just give the top choice real quick. Since that's what we'll do. Jared likes Annex. I also like Arzak, and Aaron likes Arzak. Did I get that correct?
Correct.
Yeah, sorry about that. We're going to race 8. Someone asked, what are we doing? We're going to race 8 now. We just gave our pick. We were supposed to do graded stakes action, but I only went to the other non-graded stakes because someone specifically asked about it a long time ago in the chat. So I'm sorry about that. Aaron, now I'm going to throw it back to you. We're going to race 8. We're all over the place here. We got a lot to get to. Race 8, this is the Canadian Turf. So now this is the race I thought could melt down. Now I'm going to throw it to you again. Race 8, what are you thinking here? Another field, another nice field here in the Canadian Turf.
Okay, race 8, I do think there's going to be a pace meltdown with number 6, Whalen Hug on top. I think this is the best closer in the race. I totally agree. This looks like a lot of speed signed on, and the 6 should come running. And Junior Alvarado, nobody riding better right now than him. So having Venezuelan Hug in this race, I think it's a perfect spot for the 6 to get the job done. Yeah.
No, I completely agree. I went really, really deep because I think if you like Winter's Back, I think you like Olympic Runner. If you like Olympic Runner, you like Winter's Back. I think you have to include 2. The one horse that I'm interested in is Eons. I think Eons is going to be another closer, to Aaron's point. He talked about Venezuelan Hug. Venezuelan Hug will probably be even behind Eons. I think this is one of those situations where it's like, how far back are you? Because if they're going too far up front, you don't even want to be that far back. But I do agree, Aaron and I are on the same kind of wavelength. The 5 and 6 are horses that are going to be coming from off of it. So if you're a horse like Winter's Back, you might be caught in a pace duel early on, the 7-2 morning line. Jared, what are you thinking? Do you think this is going to melt down, or do you think a horse like Winter's Back can get the lead and go gate to wire?
Yeah, it's funny. We have similar ideas, different. At least I am on a different horse. But I definitely think the pace meltdown scenario is likely here. I do like the 6. Be clear about that. I like that one a lot. I'm going price hunting here. Give me the one just to the outside of that, the 7, Monarch's Glen for Safi. T-Gaff jumps on here. First off the claims, Safi's it hits almost 30%, 26, 27%. Ran 3rd that last race. This horse has shown in the past can run some big races and some big numbers on the turf. Likes the distance. At Gulfstream has yet to win, but in 4 starts, a 2nd and 2 thirds. So get that Safi love. I think this horse might jump over the edge here and come running late. So yeah, give me the upset 8-1, number 7, Monarch's Glen.
Yeah, this is great. I don't think anyone's really had the same opinion except for like the Jackie's Warrior race, which is good. That means it should be a nice betting sequence. If the pace doesn't melt down, who's taking it? If it doesn't, which we don't anticipate, I would say Winter's Back. Yeah. That's the horse I like. Everyone just nodded their head. I think we prefer Winter's Back over Olympic Runner, but we don't anticipate that happening. But we just wanted to answer that question. Let's move on to the next stakes race. And this is the race that these guys were talking about, something about locking something up for the rest of the something up, locking up. I don't know. You guys talk about it. It's the Gulfstream Park, the Windstar. God forbid I missed that. The Windstar Park, Windstar Gulfstream Park mile stakes. Holy crud. Is this race, I'll ask the question real quick. This kind of looks like it's Performer's race to win, right, Aaron?
Yeah, I kind of said to myself, I'm not going to use Performer again. I'm not going to do that. I didn't think that race last time out was that great, but you come here and it's like it's kind of the same horses, and then you've got Tax is kind of the new shooter, and I don't love Tax. I think everybody knows that, so I think Performer gets it done here. If he runs to his capabilities, he should win.
I'll go. Yeah, if Tax is the second best horse, I want Performer. That's all I have to say. Jared?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this was a lock that shit up pick of the weekend but we both were on Performer. Listen, I mean, I kind of thought after we survived the Hooper, I was like, man, I don't know if I can play that horse again. But then you get to this race and the race didn't come back too awful numbers wise. And so you look at this one, and you're like, well, it's pretty much the same, if not easier. And then he's got another race under his belt. This horse has pretty much been flawless other than his debut where he finished third, and he finished, third in Cigar Mile. But really this horse has just been pretty unflappable. And so I really think he's going to bring it. So yeah, Performer.
Jared, sorry, Jared. Aaron, real quick, is all your Oaklawn stuff updated? Can I scroll the stuff at the bottom again for everyone?
Let's see. No, let me update that real quick.
All right. So I'll start with the next race then. We're going to skip. This is the allowance optional claiming. We'll let Aaron go last here to give him some time just to check. This is the Honey Fox Stakes. I'll go first, and then I'll throw it to Jared, and we'll let Aaron go last so we could just kind of take a quick look at his Oaklawn stuff so we can get that scrolling again. I'll go first here. You put Got Stormy on top. I'll start there. But that's not the only one I'm going to use. I think that let's take a look at Jakarta, folks, because I think there we go. Aaron cut half the workout. He did it himself. I guess no change.
I didn't have any changes, so that was pretty easy.
That was easy. Two horses to keep in mind. Jakarta can try to take this field gate to wire in a turf race with zero speed. We talked about tons of turf races with speed. Zafel is my top choice because I look at Got Stormy and I say, I'm not sure this is what the ultimate goal for Got Stormy is. Mike Somich said it last night. You always have to be wary of those. When you come into a grade 3, this isn't the ultimate goal for her. We'll still let Aaron go last because that's what I said. Jared, I'll let you go here. Are you all in on Got Stormy? Is this a single for you, or are you going to try to beat Got Stormy here in the spot?
Oh yeah, no, not even. She's not even close to a single. I'm more on I may leave her off. Just because I don't think this is the race that she's aiming for. I don't think this is the one. I mean, I would rather try to beat her here. So if you can use it, I'm not saying that, but if you have to, I wouldn't be against, because I like the 6 of Feli on top. That's my pick. I think number 7, Feel Glorious, is super interesting in this race. If you're looking for, a little bit of prices. I mean, the 4 Raqueta and the 1 Secret Time at 20-1. These are all horses I like that I would be interested in using in this race that aren't named Got Stormy. So, yeah, I think this is the kind of race that in a sequence that you're going to need some prices because it could get chalky at times. I think this is where you go price hunting a little bit.
Aaron?
I'm with Jared. I don't like Got Stormy in here. I'm going Zafeli. Same thing. I thought that race was very, very good last time out. I think it sets up pretty well here. You look at Got Stormy's races last year, the best ones came when she was sprinting. Now back to a mile, which I trust me, if she can run her best mile race, she'll win this one easy. But I don't know. I think we've kind of seen her best days as far as running this distance kind of behind her. So I think Zafeli is going to get the job done here. I'm a big fan of that horse.
Yeah, I am using God Stormy. I'm not going to go that far out on a limb. Someone said, I thought the 4 said it was strange why this distance. I mean, yeah, she probably wants to go longer, but one of her wins back in Newmarket in England was over a mile yielding track. I don't know. Real quick, let's go to the next race here as we kind of start the anticipation. This time, this isn't the Fountain of Youth, this isn't the boys. We're going to be with the girls here. I heard a lot of people all week taking this is the Devona Dale Stakes, by the way. Sorry, grade 2. A lot of people I heard are going to take shots against Vequist. We're going to go back to our original order. So I'm going to throw it back to Aaron first, and then we'll kind of go back to the original. Are you going to try to beat Vequist, or are you just going to say, look, she's the best horse, and I think she'll run her best. And if she does, she's probably good enough to win. What were you thinking here?
Yep, what you just said is exactly what I was thinking. If this horse shows up with the kind of effort that we're used to seeing out of her, even if it's like that one of those second place efforts, that's on her resume, I still think it's good enough to beat this field. The biggest thing for me is, who does she have to really beat here? This is not a great field. I just think she has to run her race and she'll win. Now it's, obviously, 2-year-old to 3-year-old season. There's obviously that question mark. I get that. But this seems like a spot where she's coming back, where she just looks faster than the rest of them. So, yeah, I went with the champ here.
Yeah, I do have a stat that I want to throw out at the end. Real quick, yeah, I don't think anyone is going to beat Vequist, to be honest. And I think she's just better than the rest of this field. Like, I'm not going to try to beat a horse that I think is better. Obviously, when it's not that much of a distance and I'm, that much different, we have a different story. But to Aaron's point, and then I'll pull up the stat after Jared goes, I'm not really sure what she's beating in here, because I don't think the Damoiselle Stakes, they had a problem pronouncing the Damoiselle last night. It's an interesting name. I don't think that race really showed much. And then, we look at some other ones, I guess Milfwil. I know you guys call it Millie Philly. I think it's Milfwil. I don't know. I don't speak French. And then Crazy Beautiful lost by a lot to Vequist. So I'll throw it to Jared. I'm all in on Vequist as well.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I want to try to beat, obviously, chalk, the Vequist looks awful tough. You mentioned the two that I would use if I was feeling, if I wanted to kind of get creative, the Millie Philly and Crazy Beautiful, the two horses that seem logical as far as the upset. But Vequist, it just kind of has a feeling of a race where it's like you see you're kind of like never come out of a gallop and turn, as they turn for home, it just kind of cruises by the rest of these. Like, she's just better. Obviously coming off the bench, from 2 to 3, the Philly, you never know. So, I mean, I guess that's the only pause for concern, but her numbers are so much better than the rest of them. I mean, you shouldn't even have to bring her Breeders' Cup for Zet race. She just needs to bring C+, B- effort, and she should win.
Yeah, I know. Real quick, on the Magic Mike show last night, they talked about Milfwil or Millie Philly. I don't know what the heck you even call that horse. In the Damoiselle, and she lost to Malathot. And I know, real quick, Magic was talking about how good he thinks Malathot is. I'm just in the other camp. I don't think Malathot's that good. If I had to pick Kentucky Oaks horses real off the top of my head, I'd pick Clairiere, I'd pick Vequist, I'd pick Day Out of the Office, I'd probably pick Girl Daddy and Simply Ravishing. Honestly, I just don't think Malathot's that good, which means I don't think the Damoiselle is that good. So that's kind of just the way I went. I think we're all in on Vequist. If she shows up, she's going to be incredibly, incredibly tough to beat. And to be honest, I'd rather have Crazy Beautiful over Millie Philly. I know that's what you guys call her. Let's move on to the next race here. We're just one away from the feature. It's the very one. Real quick, Aaron, this is the race that I think that if you're going to connect and make some good money, this is the race that you could do it. I've had a conversation with someone yesterday. They want to hit the all button here. So I don't know if they're listening. Maybe they are. Maybe they're not. Is this a race that you could hit the all button? And if it's not, who are you focusing in on?
Yeah, this race, I agree. You could hit the all button real easily. I went with number 7, Bacchanalia, on top for Chad Brown. 8 to 1 on the morning line. I don't think we'll get that, but I like the progression of this horse. I think this horse is getting ready to run a pretty nice race here. So Bacchanalia for me on top. But I know, Jared, I know you like a price as well. that I also like and have included. So yeah, you can go as deep as you can here. And that's why you really need Vequist to win if you're me, because I want to go short in that race. And then I want to spread here because this one's a wide open affair.
Since you brought up Jared, I'll let Jared go. I'll go a little bit out of order just so we can continue the thought. Jared, I'll let you go. What was your price horse, or the horse that Aaron was referring to?
Yeah, I like. Listen, I like a lot of these in here. But I as far as I think it's the race, it's the kind of race that you want to try to take shots. And I ended up going with the 9, Warlike Goddess. I think this horse, obviously, yeah, it's not lost. This horse, English Channel, filly, and debuted going a mile and 1/8 and won at Churchill Downs, and then won a mile and 3/8 at Churchill Downs. And so obviously the longer the better for this horse. Coming off the bench a little bit, but usually not much of an issue for Bill Mott. You love that you see Julian Leperoux, who won on her on her debut, is back. Her numbers are, she improved 10 buyer points off her first to second start. She keeps going that direction. She'll be awful tough, and I think she will have something to say at the end of this race. And that's all you need. I mean, you just want a horse that's got a shot to upset this thing. And I think Warlike Goddess is that horse.
Yeah. Dennis, real quick about massive filly, can close into slow fractions, has no trouble with the distance, worried about the layoff. Yeah, I think this is the race. You can make a case for a lot of them. I think there's only a few. I know a lot of people have been talking about Dominga. That's not one that I'm interested in at all. I'm interested in Antoinette. That's the horse that I think Antoinette is. I've been saying this. I've been thinking this for a long time now, right? In terms of, I'm done with the Jose Ortiz slander. I take it personally because I came on this show, the Rocket Hour, maybe a couple weeks ago when I put out a poll, and people were like making fun of me for including Jose Ortiz. Jose Ortiz was an Eclipse winner. So let's be a little respectful of him. Yeah, he's going through a slump. He's winning at like 14%. People don't realize that not everyone's going to win at 27%. I think this is going to be a nice weekend for Jose Ortiz to kind of remind everyone, I might not be my brother, but I'm still top 5 in the country. I'm still here. And I think Antoinette is going to sit the perfect trip. I think a horse like Belle Laura will probably grab the lead, but I don't see a ton of speed. So I think you have to be what I always say, tier A, B, and C. I really think you need to be at the worst tier B, but I prefer tier A. And I think Antoinette's just going to sit right there, probably between 2nd and 4th, and have a really good chance to win this race. All right, here it is. The Fountain of Youth. The Fasix-Tipton Fountain of Youth. Again, if I don't want to miss anyone's free airtime. All right, here we go. The race we've been waiting for. Aaron, I'll throw it to you. Are you all in on Greatest Honor? Are you going to try to beat Greatest Honor? What are you thinking here? This is a nice field, but again, we see races the same, so I kind of have a feeling I know which way you're going to go. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, I debated this for a while. In the end, I did go Greatest Honor. I just think he has the least amount of question marks, and I think that's important. I think that's very important in a race like this. I really believe this horse, is just trending in the right direction, improving with every single race. His trainer has compared him to Orb. That's obviously a good sign. Orb won all these races down here. I just think he's the best horse in the race. I went chalky here. I took prices in a lot of the other races at Gulfstream, but here I couldn't get away from Greatest Honor.
Yeah, for me, I just think Greatest Honor. We talk about this all the time. Shug McGahee, he takes a long time, almost too impatient sometimes. But once those horses start clicking by races 3, 4, 5, 6, you start to really see what they're made of. And I think Greatest Honor is clicking at the right time. It's not this race doesn't remind me. I don't know if Greatest Honor is the best moving forward, long term. But in this moment, as we speak, I don't know any horse that's going to beat him. I do want to say one horse to consider. I'm not in on Prime Factor. I think Fire at Will won't handle the turf keep an eye on Drain the Clock. That's the one who I put underneath, because Drain the Clock's never lost a race where he actually kept the rider and finished. Jared, for you, are you Greatest Honor? Are you Shug McGahee? Are you Jose Ortiz keeping that form? Or are you going to try to find a price? Maybe you take Fire at Will, who's going to try the dirt. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I did land on Greatest Honor. The way this race kind of looks and sets up, it does seem like it's going to be pretty hot up front, and Greatest Honor, sitting outside. You look for the best closer, and he's it, and obviously has proven that. So I think he is the one to beat. My hope is that you can upset God Stormy. You get Vaquist. Obviously, we like prices in the last race, and then if you get here, you've got Greatest Honor. And I think if you could spread just a little bit if you can. I think Drain the Clock is super interesting just because we don't know. Like, that's the the question of how far can he go, and he might be super dangerous. Obviously, drawing the one hole, he's gonna go. So that. So I like him. Prime Factor. I don't know that he can get this far. He might be able to. If he's bet down from 5 to 1, I don't know if I'd want to play him, but I think both those horses are valid to include. But yeah, honestly, I'm kind of, last time I mentioned it a little bit, Fire at Will. He's interesting, but I'm more on the wait and see with him if he can handle this or not. So ultimately, yeah, Greatest Honor. I think he does it again. I think it's going to be pretty formful to the Holy Bull. Honestly, last time I think it seems like it's going to be hard, kind of. Drain the Clock being the one exception that might, try to make his name known a little bit here.
Since we're all chalk-eating weasels, I'll give us a little test. And chalk-eating weasels are okay if it wins. If we lose, then we're idiots. But if they win, it is what it is. That's our job here, to try to pick winners or cash winning tickets, depending on what you're doing. I'll start with Aaron then. If you couldn't pick, say, Greatest Honors out of this race, just throw them out there. Who are you picking, or who would you pick to finish second after Greatest Honor? However you want to look at it, if we had to pick.
I would take Drain the Clock. I like that early speed. I think it is definitely questionable that the horse can stretch out, but I do like his chances to do it at Gulfstream compared to maybe some other tracks. So his early speed is dangerous. Drain the Clock is the one for me. That's the one that I think could pull the upset.
Jared, I'll go to you next. You have to pick. You have to pick.
It's tough. I mean, obviously, from a tournament perspective, that's just how I kind of look at these when it comes to picking, eliminating a favorite. Drain the Clock seems like that kind of horse. Prime Factor, horses that have upside that are going to be decent prices. Yeah, I mean, I want to say Tarantino, but I just don't know he's a win candidate here. I think he's more of an underneath horse, because so I honestly, I think I might say Drain the Clock too. I like that. At least like you're going to turn for home, and he's gonna, unless something's wrong, he's going to be in the lead. It's just a matter of can he get the distance.
Yeah, for me, I put Drain the Clock second, but I'll talk about Tarantino, because Tarantino made his dirt debut last time. And I'll be honest, he was much better than Prime Factor. So I don't really, if you're not going to single, which I'm not, I'll be the first to admit, I used the one Drain the Clock and Greatest Honor, because we don't know about Drain the Clock. It's like Jared talked about probably multiple times last night. And now we just don't know. So Drain the Clock is the one I think you should include, because what if Drain the Clock's a monster? We just don't know. But for a horse like Prime Factor, he wasn't better than Tarantino, and Tarantino tried the dirt for the first time. Yeah, Prime Factor stretched out for the first time, but again, I'm a time form guy, so is Aaron. Prime Factor got a worse time form than he did in his maiden. He went from a 107 to a 106. So that's no good for me. Real quick, best bet of the whole day, whether it's Oaklawn, whether it's Gulfstream. I'll start first because I know it's off the cuff. I'm gonna go to Gulfstream, and I'm not gonna pick Performer. I'm gonna pick Vaquist. I think she is just much better than that group. I know Performer is probably the weaker field. I just think Vaquist is really going to establish herself as a top 2, top 3 filly in this level. Whoever wants to go, I'm not sure who's ready to answer the question. Anyone just chime in. What best bet of the day? Either track, Oaklawn, Gulfstream, whatever you guys want to do. Hop in.
I think Performer on Saturday is the best bet, and then Sunday is Monomoy Girl. So
Yeah, I didn't really. Okay, for everyone listening, I didn't talk about Monomoy Girl just because I was trying to limit it to Saturday. But yes, if I'm opening it up to the whole weekend, I think it's Monomoy Girl. Jared, I guess I'll put the restriction on you. No Monomoy Girl, because we're not talking about that. Best bet of the day on Saturday. Tongue twister.
If it's Saturday, it's Performer. If it's Sunday, it's Monomoy Girl.
Yeah, I think it's crazy. Monomoy Girl's even money, right? And then we have another 9 to 5.
There, so that that's
yeah,
bet really hard. So I wouldn't really take.
That is a hard. I don't know who the morning line maker is at Oaklawn. I think Aaron may have told me. I'm not going to say who it is on air, or I think it is. Finite at 9 to 5 might be one of the worst win bets of all time. So I hope I don't walk Finite into the winner circle with that comment. Real quick, I'm going to do my best Jared impersonation here in a positive way. And I'm going to try to give everything Racing Dudes wise. Obviously, this was a great episode, 80 minutes. This was honestly one of the shorter ones considering how much we had to cover. We obviously have our Oaklawn stuff today. That's been scrolling all morning. Aaron and I have tried to do the best job we can with scratches and things like that because just of the time period and scratches come out. So I think we're all dated. We're ready to go. So we have that. You can always go to racingdudes.com and get your bankrolls up because if you missed Gulfstream yesterday, you missed on like close to $9,400 worth of winning tickets on my end. So again, like I said last night, I feel bad for you. That's from my end. Aaron and Jared have done a fantastic job with the website. It looks great. I texted both of them that it looks great. Jared didn't believe me when I said the guide looks good because he thinks I'm being an asshole. No, I'm being a nice guy. This is business. But no, they've been working diligently to do that. And hopefully all the kinks are worked out, or almost all of them. Hopefully we're like 98% of the way there. I don't really know the details, but I know they've been stressed out. Like Aaron said, this was the best rocket hour he's had all week because he's just been dealing with other things. So there's all that stuff for today. Tomorrow is just action-packed, right? You have the guide that I think is available if you're a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, again, I feel bad for you because there's so much content. There's like a free newsletter you guys can get. There's subscriptions you guys can be a part of. You have daily passes. You have my product. You have Soma Bombs. Like you have everything. So I'm not really sure why you wouldn't be a subscriber. I wish I would have tailed Gulfstream. Yeah, that's a good point. You know what? Because I put out so many tracks. I talked about this to the guys last night. I can't hit it every one. Like, please reach out to me and ask me what I'm most confident in. I literally put the same amount of work as hard work into all the tracks that I do. But unfortunately, like, I just can't hit them all. I don't know how else. So I apologize. Like, I really do. Yesterday was a Gulfstream day. Today, it could easily be an Oaklawn day today. Tomorrow, we will also have a live stream hosted by yours truly. The 24-year-old youngster is going to make his debut. I feel like I'm the guy coming from AAA in a big World Series game. You know, Jared has the kids not to deal with. That's a bad one. He's going to have the kids on hand. So he's going to be in and out. I'm sure he'll be chiming in with some picks, some things like that. I know Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield will be. Oh, sorry, I meant Aaron Halterman. He'll be in as well with his Oklahoma sweatshirt. Maybe I'll wear some Syracuse stuff. No, I'll be wearing Racing Dude stuff. So tune in tomorrow. That's going to be around 4:15. We'll be covering the later races from Gulfstream and Oaklawn as well. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, positives, negatives, please reach out to us. Reach out to me, Jared, Aaron. They are going to continue to work on the website, make it better. Again, really check out the guide. The coolest thing I think of the guide, each race isn't just race 9. There's a little jockey silk. So race 9 has a little, it's a little sky blue, and there's a 9. Jared did a really good job with that, and the visuals are great. There's so much great information. Aaron did a great job magic editing. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow with us. We'll be live for a couple hours just talking horses, talking everything. Is there anything else you guys want to add before we sign off? Real quick, Jared, thank you for coming on. Just talking some stakes action.
Yeah, it's believe it or not, I do listen to the Rocket Hour most days. Sometimes it's on the background, but I still am kind of listening to what's going on. And so, my schedule is always pretty hectic in the morning, so you never know. But I was happy to join and hopefully gave out some winners.
Yeah, Aaron, anything? Aaron's definitely on. I feel bad for him. Like Monday, we were going to do a tutorial, and we are going to do a tutorial of the website, and that's what I took that on as a personal thing. I want everyone to be able to look at this video, whether you're a subscriber now, whether you're going to be next week, whether you're going to be for many years to come. It's going to be an evergreen video, so you guys can always just kind of how to use the website. So Aaron and I are going to do that together. But Aaron, I'm guessing at this point you just are done with me. You've seen me way too much over the weekend. 2 hours tomorrow. What are we thinking here? How sick are you of me at this point with another 2 hours tomorrow?
Yeah, on Monday I may just get really drunk and not reply to anything or anybody. So it's 50-50. That thing's gonna happen on Monday. We may have to push that to Tuesday. Dealing with the growing pains of the site, but it's better today than tomorrow. I can tell you that. So maybe by live stream tomorrow, I can finally for the first time pay attention to what I'm saying on the air.
Yeah, there's so many times that I could say 2 + 2 is 88, and Aaron's like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Jared, real quick, I don't know who.
Me every time you kick it to me, I go, yep, yeah, I agree, and then I go on with whatever I have to say next.
Yeah, I could say there's a camel race that's going to be a great new grade 1 race, and Aaron's like, yeah, that sounds right. Camel race is grade 1. Real quick, we have this comment up, Jared. You are the king of the website. Aaron is too, but Aaron's a lot of content. And we even had this conversation. Aaron's like, dude, I honestly just want to handicap these horses. Like, I love getting the website together, but like, this is what I do. Jared, this is up your avenue here. How do I become a subscriber? Mr. Ryan Henshaw is a newbie. If anyone else is listening, they're newbies. How could they become subscribers? Just kind of walk us through that real quick.
Well, you just got to go to racingdudes.com and go to get Racing Dudes Premium, the big button on your menu there, and you can check out all the products and become a subscriber there. We have different packages available. Monthly packages, 3 months. You can get the Soma Bombs. You can get Ricky's Rockets soon. Ricky's Rockets will be part of all the subscriptions. You get out full access to the dashboard, which has been updated and obviously 10 times better than it was. And so, we're going to continue to add things. And anytime you are a subscriber, you get our guides, which right now the Fountain of Youth Guide is available. You get those for free. So it's a pretty good setup. And if you just are looking to mess around for a little bit and do free stuff, you can always just join the inner circle, and then you can see that at the bottom of most pages and put your email in there, and you'll get emails and things like that, and you'll get notified when we have stuff available. So whatever you want to do, we've got kind of a good amount of stuff that can keep you entertained, whether it be free or premium.
Yeah. Real quick, this is just what the homepage looks like. You could see, my stuff's there. You literally have the Racing Dudes 2021 guide right there. Then you have blinkers off, Magic Mike. If you guys are working and you want to listen to something in the background, or you're handicapping the night before and you want to listen to it. And then Magic has news and Kentucky Derby notes. Again, my product is there for today. Obviously, working on the one for tomorrow. That actually will be up, 6 p.m. my time. And then there's another, if you guys are interested, they also have, like Jared said, Get Racing Dudes Premium. It's right there. And then you click on your little icon, your little person. And it's a great layout in terms of, you could sign in. I'm not going to sign in because I don't want you guys knowing my information. But you could click on Get Racing Dudes Premium, and it's right here, right? Exclusive plays. The guide, like he said, is right there. You can obviously add it to the cart, but we want you guys to be subscribers. We don't we're not into the one-time purchase thing. We're into getting you guys going. We want to be a family. And you could do that by being a subscriber. You could see all the racing guides that they've done in the past, and then all the different subscriptions and things like that. And then again, at the end of the day, look at this, 14 tracks, 123 races. Every track Aaron has done. Some of these tracks, I don't even know if they're running. I don't know the jockeys' names, but Aaron does. Aaron knows every track, every trainer, every owner. He knows it all. So yeah, you guys just check it out. No one's saying you got to be a subscriber in 5 minutes, but check it out. There's a ton of information. So make sure you guys tune in. Rewatch this if you want to get some Oaklawn stuff before you bet today, or some stakes action. Then you have plenty of podcasts, live streams, things like that. And we'll be on tomorrow. for 2 hours. I can't promise Jared's going to be on for 2 hours. I know he's going to try. I mean, he wants to tune into the kid. And Aaron, by tomorrow night, I'm sure will just block my number. With that being said, we will see you guys tomorrow, 4:15 Eastern time. That's important to note. 3:15 Central time if you're somewhere in the mountains. 2:15 and Magic's time. 1:15 West Coast time. We will see you guys tomorrow. Again, check out racingdudes.com for all the action and all the stuff that you need to keep up with the Southwest and the Fountain of Youth. Without further ado, stay safe, stay healthy. Good luck today, and we will see you guys tomorrow. It's not going to be a rocket hour. It's going to be, Racing Dudes overhead, 4:15 Eastern time to cover the Southwest and the Fountain of Youth stakes. Take care, everyone.